Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Mr. Pearson with another update for physical science. We are moving on to Unit 1, Investigation 2, Activity 2. Our big question: how do factors like distance and amount of charge affect the interactions between objects? We start out with a warm-up. How do you think the force is going to change? Right? We've been talking about forces, how charges can attract and repel. So how do we think those forces that charges can put on each other are going to be affected by distance? All right. Jumping over, remember, we want to be working on both tabs. We want to make sure we're right here on Activity 2 in Investigation 2. Again, the essential questions line up. We talked about the factors, distance, and amount of charge. Okay, so here we are, first part, a little overview. Okay, it mentions a demonstration as I get to this second page here. It's got a couple questions. All right, again, because of the snow days we've had, I've had a tough time getting my film crew together, aka the other physical science teachers in the building. But it is an experiment we've done before, so I presented you with some data like I've done in the past. Okay, we're taking the two pieces of tape we saw in Investigation 1. We had the T tape and the B tape. All right, and what I did is I started by holding each piece of tape very far away from the Van de Graaff when it was turned on, of course. And I started to move them closer and closer. And I recorded what happened as I did that. Okay, so you can use that use that data for these questions here. Moving on to the next part, it gets into a simulation. All right, I can manipulate the charges. I've got two particles. I can make them negative or positive or neutral, and I can strengthen that force one way or the other. All right, I can take a look at either one or two particles. I can show the forces that we've been talking about, and then I can show this electric field, which is a new idea for Investigation 2. All right, and again, there's a couple questions here. Like always, I've got all this stuff linked on Schoology as well. If you're running into any issues on this STEM resource page, your Concord page, your interactions website, a bunch of different names for the same place. As I move on to the fourth part of the activity here, it's going to ask you to interpret a couple pictures. And, we're starting to try to make some assumptions based on some information that we have about the charges of these different particles. Again, these pictures are linked on Schoology as well. Next, we've got another little game. Okay, you've got two different particles or objects down here. You can charge them, as you see here, and you can launch a particle. But as you see, if you don't change anything, it runs into a wall. So it's your job to try and navigate around it using your knowledge of different charges. A couple different spots for you to submit screenshots of different setups. All right. The last thing we're taking a look at, there is an article here. I know it's sort of hidden down here. I do have it linked, as always, right here on Schoology. And it's a cool little article about how bees find flowers. I don't know about you guys, but it is beautiful outside, and I'm enjoying it. I'm ready for the springtime. And some of you might not like it, but bees start flying around in the springtime, starting to pollinate different flowers. So how do they know which flowers they've been to? This article sort of goes over some tools that they use to help them figure out where they've been and where they need to go. Last thing we need to do is a check for understanding here on Schoology. Guys, as always, any questions, shoot them to me on Schoology. I'm looking forward to meeting some of you guys next week as we get ready to start our Hybrid 2.0. And I will catch you guys next time.